Duet Night Abyss didn't just have a bad launch, it had one of the most concerning and disappointing post-launch situations I've ever seen. I think the sentiment comes more from the accumulation of red flags than isolated events. By red flags, I'm not just talking about bugs, bad balance, or optimization, but also how the game put its own players at risk. Not just once, but twice. And after what happened on the 18th of March, I just don't think this game is going to recover. And that's quite frustrating because I really wanted to enjoy it, but my experience with Duet Night Abyss was overall complicated. I played it on my phone, and the optimization was rough. At the first few minutes of launching the game, everything looked like a blurry mess. My phone was overheating. The gameplay loop got repetitive really fast, and the weapon balance felt off. If you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. And don't even get me started on the cosmetics, the actual gacha part of the game. It was so bare bone, there was no incentive to spend money. And how did they try to solve this problem? By releasing even more expensive items. That's rookie mistake 101, mate. Or maybe they're just trying to squeeze as much money as possible out of the player base while they can. Its only saving grace is its main story. It's what kept me playing for much longer than I should have. For a while, I tried to convince myself, okay, it's rough now, but it'll probably get better with time. It didn't. I would slap myself across the face if I could travel back in time. Fast forward to February 2026. The game got hit by a server-wide attack. A hacker managed to manipulate UI elements by messing with CDN resources and server lists. On paper, they made it sound minor. It wasn't the hacker's first attempt at tampering with the gacha game's resources, and maybe to some extent, many people decided to let go, because no severe harm were done to the players. But it was a warning that should have been taken more seriously. I mean, if this already happened once, what's stopping someone from trying again? And sure enough, the second attack happened on the 18th of March 2026, but this time, it was much more serious. The attackers managed to inject a malicious file into a mandatory hotfix delivered through the game's launcher. The update contained an info stealer designed to grab passwords, Discord tokens and crypto wallet info from the victim's PC. The malicious patch was live for about 2.5 hours before the developers deployed an emergency update to remove it. Guys, 2.5 hours. That's a long time when your information is being compromised. And their official announcement regarding the situation failed to reassure people. It took too long to address it, and the damage was already done. Whatever trust remained was completely shattered. Once the whole situation was resolved, they settled with 10 pulls and more promises. It's like offering a gift card to someone whose house just burned down. And they added a time limit too. Tell me something. How in your right mind do you find it acceptable to put even more pressure on your player base for your massive up? In this situation, it's quite understandable that many are worried about the future of the game. You can't expect people to stick through thick and thin when you keep betraying their expectations and now their safety. Whenever someone asks if it's safe to play again on social media like Reddit, the answers are cautious. Although they try to hide it, it's obvious that everyone is afraid deep inside. They are afraid of a third cyber attack, because as they say, things good and bad always come in threes. And here's the harsh truth. It doesn't matter if Duet Night Abyss doesn't consider itself a gacha game. It's competing in the gacha sphere, and gacha players, they don't wait forever. If a gacha game doesn't give them what they want, they move on to the next. They don't care if it's your first game or not. Some may try to stick for a bit if they are invested. But when you keep piling up disappointment and mistakes, even the most delusional player eventually gives up. I myself decided to stop playing the game. It's simply not worth the risk. I've been there before. If you follow the gacha sphere, you've probably heard about the whole Black Beacon disaster. I was one of those who played on day one. The game had great visuals and a strong story. I kid you not, I was intrigued during the first 3 chapters, but was completely hooked by chapter 4. Instead of relying on the usual waifu bait or trauma bait, the writers crafted compelling characters who made you feel for them. They felt very grounded, had layers of complexity on top of superb voice acting, and the bosses were memorable. Some scenes were so breathtaking, I even had to take screenshots. But the game's support was abysmal and Global was treated poorly compared to the Chinese playbase. Now I know it's nothing new. There are many games where Global is treated worse, but in this game it was really bad. To tell you how bad it was, Even the Chinese player base expressed their discontent towards Global's unfair treatment. It was bad decision after bad decision, and by the time EOS finally came, no one was surprised. I'm seeing a similar situation with Duet Night Abyss, and it hurts to say this because I was kinda invested in the story. I actually came into this game expecting to play for like 2 or 3 days and then dip, but I ended up staying because of Psyche and Fantasio. Their individual tragedies were both believable and relatable, and witnessing their struggle as a regular fox hunter really gave more weight to their tragedy. I liked the idea that being a hero isn't always enough to save people, and you have to work together with others to overcome obstacles. But no story, good as it may be, is worth risking your personal data. And we're not even talking about the long-term consequences of those 2 cyber attacks. People got exposed to malware. For those who are infected, there will always be that little voice in their head asking them if it will happen again. Not just in this game, but in every future gacha game they want to try. They will have a much harder time trusting a new title from a new company, which translates to more burden for new companies and new games trying to enter the market. And honestly, I can't blame the players for feeling that way. In a strange way, the game kind of became its own story. You start with a heart full of hope, only to be dragged down by reality. Maybe the real message here is to learn when it's time to let go. If you played Duet Night Abyss on the 18th of March, run a full antivirus scan, change your passwords from a clean device, and consider reinstalling the game completely. Better be safe than sorry. And let's be real here, this isn't a situation that can be mended with few tools. What they need is to be transparent, more reactive, and communicative towards the player base, because at that point, the only thing that can save the game and a good story with untapped potential is rebuilding trust. If you're still playing, or if you intend on giving this game a try, just know the risks. Me? I'm done. But I hope those who choose to stay can have fun without all the random BS Duet Night Abyss keeps throwing at them.